Well, hello. Welcome to what I believe is chapter 32 of World's Longest Suicide Note. I am Roger, and I'm suicidal. Uh, Not every day, but, you know, often. And while I am suicidal, often, I'm not a mental health professional. So, anyway, and I know in the last video I said this is the last one with this particular painting, and I'm not going to paint on it. It's, I mean, I've washed my hands of the whole thing. I'm moving on. I've abandoned this. It is at a place where I'm just done with it. But I want to talk about something because I've been talking with a couple people who are really struggling right now, and they're at the phase that we all feel. They're going through the worthlessness, and this painting actually, with the the looking in the mirror and seeing a clown, which happens a lot. It's part of the cyclical nature of it. Yeah, our self-worth, our feelings of self at all take a real hit when we're going through that depressive, suicidal ideation mix. With you throw in some anxiety in there, and lack of sleep, poor diet. When we're, I mean, there's times when you go all day and don't think about eating, or only think about eating, or I mean, it's that thing. So, but the whole thoughts of the world's a better place without you. I know that feeling well. I've been down that road a lot, and it's still something I tell myself when I'm there. I don't see value. I don't see benefit. We lie to ourselves. In the last video, I did talk about how our minds are against us. How we think things that aren't true, and how our brain makes us think those things, and by continually inputting these thoughts into our heads. And I just want to say, and the thing is, I know I've been down that road a lot. I've been in that place a lot, and I know that it's a lie. I know our brains are lying to us, and we're trying to justify an act, an event that will happen in the future. Hopefully it won't. Hopefully we can keep pulling ourselves back from that. But one of the biggest threats that we have is overcoming our own self-loathing, our own wishing that we were someone or something that we're not. Yeah. So and that the thing is our voice isn't heard. We try to tell our brains things, and that's a weird thing. Just tell yourself blah blah blah. You're telling yourself. You're telling your own brain. It knows that you're going to do that. It's like that robot on that episode of Star Trek that wanted to kill it, that felt nomad. That just popped in my head. and they were trying to beat this robot, but the robot knew what they were going to do before they did it. So it was really hard to, And I remember Spock tried to do the Vulcan mind meld with the thing, and then that didn't work. It was very dramatic. Anyway, you probably have no idea what I'm talking about. But at the end of the day, yes, tell yourself that, but that's the problem. We have to tell ourselves. And in and of itself, that is not something that is, something we're going to be super successful, because our mind's telling us the stuff that we don't want to hear anyway, and it knows that we're going to try to argue with it and fight with it. So, yes, the whole idea is just tell yourself that you are worth it. That, but in reality, that's easier said than done, and I get that. But we have to find worth. We have to believe that there's a truer purpose for us to be here. And I know there is. I mean, I know it, but you forget when you're in that place. And it, it morphs to, what do you think you were going to do anyway? There's nothing you can do. You have no power, or you can't even deal with your own thoughts. What good are you? And that's where we have to push back. We do have to push back, because we have to be able to value ourselves and our experience. And so, and I try to tell people, and having been there, and you don't want to hear from anybody. You don't want anyone to tell you that you're a good person. You don't want anyone to tell you anything good about yourself, because it directly contradicts with how you think and feel in your own head, in your own skin. And you just don't want to hear it. You don't want to hear any redeeming qualities whatsoever. It just makes it easier to go down that path if you truly feel that you're worthless. So this painting really brought that to really I painted it more from a aspect of, when we're feeling the things that we feel, we often play a role that's not us, but we're playing us as an actor. I'm portraying myself and how I would act in these situations when I can't act the way I want to, or transparently. And so, one of the hardest things is to understand that there is redeeming value and qualities when you're not feeling that. You absolutely reject it. Flat out disagree. That and the people, obviously, if people are telling you something, and that's another thing, your mind tells you, oh, they're just saying that so you don't kill yourself. They're just saying that so you believe that you're worth saving, you're worth keeping here. But when you really think about it, obviously there's got to be something to that, or why would they say it? They need your energy. They need you to stay here. So that in and of itself is a proof that you do matter, that your energy is necessary and is needed here on this planet. So whether you want to hear it or not doesn't make it any less valid. But being there myself, I get it. I didn't like it. Honestly, I still don't believe it. If someone says something positive, or, I don't want to deal with that. If I don't keep awards. I don't, anything that highlights me as a good person. I just, and me, I'm not even there. I'm not even at that self-loathing. I mean, it's always kind of there, but I'm not in that mode right now where I'm trying to, figure out when I want to pull the trigger or if I want to pull the trigger, that kind of thing. So I'm not even in that full-on self-loathing mode, and I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear about anything good. So, but that's got to change to some degree. I say a lot. That's never trust someone who says a lot. So I just wanted to come on. That's about all I have to say. I really do want to feel better about myself and what I do. But it's a process. And like any real process, it takes time and it takes effort. And that's one thing that me and a lot of other people, will put effort into a lot of different things. I mean, some things that seem silly. I mean, we'll put effort, superior effort, maximum effort into some things. But when it comes to valuing ourselves, that's not going to happen. It's really hard to put effort into that, something you can't get behind. And the problem is, on a day-to-day basis, it's not critical, but it's critical when you're in that place. And you're not listening to anybody about that. And if you were in a court of law, you'd be arguing for the death penalty for yourself, as opposed to, defending yourself. So that's part of the equation. It's part of the game, and it sucks. And I'm tired of the game. But all we can do is the best we can do. So please try to see the good. Try to see yourself through other people's eyes. And I'll try to. Okay? And then we'll meet back here for the next video. And it will be something different. I don't know what yet. I'll get something worked out. We'll start something. Because that's what I do. And I like it. I mean, I do like the painting part. It makes me feel, so I'm going to keep doing that. Yeah. All right. And now we've hit that magic time in the video when I just start. So I'm going to end your suffering. Have a great day. Keep fighting.